Welcome to SharePlus vNext. SharePlus is a collaboration tool that helps people work better together as teams by giving them one place where content, goals, meeting decisions, chat, and tasks are all visible, tracked, and connected. This is a short walkthrough to help you quickly get up to speed using the software. We're going to cover signing into the app, take a quick look at the application layout to help you navigate through the app, and show you how to create a team and how to share content through a team board. We'll also cover other product functionality like tasks, notifications, and data visualizations in other short video walkthroughs. So we've made it really easy to sign into SharePlus vNext. You can sign in with your Office 365 or Gmail credentials, and I'm going to sign in with my Office 365 account. I signed in before, so it remembers me. If you're signing in for the first time, it'll ask you to sign in to your Outlook or Gmail using your Outlook or Gmail account name and password. Within SharePlus vNext, we have the concept of teams and the concept of boards. To the left are teams that I've either created or been invited to, and within each team I can set up boards where I can have people go and we can all share and post content to these boards. Let me click on this. This is basically a personal team that I have. So this is really for myself to get organized and for myself to be able to access the content I need to do my job. And what I've done is I've created a few personal boards for myself. One is about sites that I like to go to or need to go to do my job. And the other is for key documents that I need to access on a regular basis. And this is again just for me. So I've set up this personal board with a few sites. These are internal sites to a company called Gemco where I work. And these are sites or locations where I don't necessarily know where they are right away and I want to be able to get access to them right away, like my the company's travel site or HR. I've also set up another site called Marketing Research Site in another section of the board. And this basically enables me to be able to go to locations to do my job that I need to get to or sites I need to get to right away. And because this is a personal board, I've set up a section for personal sites. These are for me to go to from time to time. I like to catch up on news, or I also like classic cars, so I go to these sites for personal reasons from time to time. I've also set up a second personal board which enables me to access documents that I need to access from time to time to work on to do my job. So I've set up a section called Messaging Positioning Framework Documents that I need to go to quite often to update. And I can also add other sections if I want to by just going up here to the plus sign, and from there I can add a section that I want to access other content or to organize myself and add a whole nother content section if I want to do that. If you scroll down to these symbols down here, these basically represent or highlight software functionality. The pin symbol always gets me back to the board I'm on and to the top of the board, or the first board. This task symbol is where I can go, assign, and track tasks. And if I click on this folder button here, this is where I can add my file providers. And I've got OneDrive and SharePoint loaded, but if I click up on the plus sign up here, you can see where I can add more options for file providers. Now this is a dashboard widget where you can create visualizations from data. And some of these placeholders are for future functionality, like this is a calendar button to be able to manage your meetings. This is the notifications symbol where you can track notifications, and we'll get more into specific another walkthrough where we track notifications, where we talk about notifications and tasks more in depth. This button represents chat functionality, which we'll be adding soon to SharePlus vNext. If we go here to the settings button, this is where you can manage your notifications, and you can also select themes about vNext so you can see how you want to work within vNext using these themes. This is the blue theme, the white theme, and I personally like the darker theme, so I'm going to stick with that. And then down below here is where you can go and submit feedback for us to make continuous product improvements. Let's now create a team, and I do that by going over to the team area on the app and select the plus sign. And I can create a team from scratch, or I can import a team from external groups that's already been created, or I can join existing SharePlus teams. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a team from scratch, and I'm going to name that marketing. And I can choose to make that team public where anyone can join, or I can make it restricted where it's searchable but you have to request to join, or I can make it private where it's really by invite only. And I'm going to keep this public, and now I'm going to create the team, and what's going to ask me to do next is to add a few members to join the team. And I do that by typing in their email addresses. And once I enter in the number of team members I want, I update the team. And what it does is it really gets me going already, in that it has already created a board for me. But I want to rename that board. So I rename the board, and I'm going to rename it Emerald Marketing. Now that I've renamed the board, I want to be able to create a section, and it's already got a section set for me. I'm going to name that section GTM, or Go to Market. And what I want to do now is go over here to the overflow menu and add a content widget to begin pinning content. And I can pin content really in a couple of different ways. I can pin content from a file provider, I can pin content from a web link, or I can even drag or drop content directly from my desktop. I'm going to start by pinning content from a web link. I do that by just selecting that and then pasting in the URL that I want to pin. And it already puts in a title for me, or I can put in my own title that I like. And you can see where that content's been pinned. Now I'm going to add content from a file provider, and I do that by clicking on the pin content here from the overflow menu. And that's going to call up my file provider where I have files, and this is I'll check on this folder Emerald, and I'm going to select a few files that I want to pin there. And I can select as many as I like, and I hit pin, and you can see where that content's already been pinned to the board. And now I want to be able to add another way I can add content or pin content is to pin content directly from my desktop, and I do that dragging and dropping the content that I want to pin. And now what's asking me in the background is it's really asking where I want to put that in a file or a cloud repository that I previously designated, and this is the one I want to put it into, and this allows me to post the file. Okay, while it's doing that, I do want to create another section. So I'm going to create a section, and another section here. I just simply do that by hitting the plus sign, and I'll create or title this section Sales. So now I have another section, and I'm going to add a content widget to this section, and I'm going to name that by simply coming down here and hitting rename. And I'm going to rename that Sales Bomb or Build of Materials. Okay, and I've decided that if I look over at the GTM area, that there's really some files that I'd rather have underneath this other section here in this other widget. So I'm going to move this over, and I simply do that by just dragging and dropping. So these are more appropriate to be over here. And so now I have a board that has two sections to it. What I want to do next is I really want to decide, or I've decided I want to create a whole nother board and have the sales material on a separate board. So I do that by simply clicking on the plus sign to add a board, and I add sales. And then if I go back to the marketing board, I can move the sales section anywhere I like. So you can move sections and widgets anywhere you like within a board, but you can also move to another board within a team. And I do that by simply dragging and dropping, and it asks me if I want to move here, and I will move the content there. And then it asks me the board I want to move it to, and I want to move it to the sales board, and I hit move. So what that does is it's now within the Emerald marketing board. I just have go to market there, and I can add other sections if I want. And if I check on the sales board, it's already added that, or it's drag and drop that sales section over for me. So that's a little bit about arranging content on a board, and that's our quick tour of SharePlus vNext to get you started. please take the app for a spin and give us your feedback, because that's very helpful to us. And you can also view other walkthrough videos that cover notifications and tasks and creating data visualizations. And remember, there's more features coming. Thank you for watching.